We're gonna make these rims, coat these for the cops. Looking good, right? Oh man, the amount of weirdness you encounter when building 3D reconstruction software. Been doing it for years and it always surprises me. Dress for the part, they say. Well, I dress for it, dress for success. I'm opening up the little bags. I asked to test various bags. Yes. This one is the most rugged one. It's a little homemade style. But again, it's waste, so whatever. These are parts for the portal to assemble it. Came from the manufacturer. I'm putting it together so that I can fit the scanners on. And this will be upside down. Obviously, this is the center of it right now. I've moved it a little off center. It's like an old scale. This is gonna go up there. I'm putting in these nuts. Yeah, so just wanted to show you how it goes. Test parts. I'm thinking, okay, record, but record what? This is getting built. So, sorry, might be talking a little too loud. And the doctor, we got the doctor here. That's a blessing. And I'm cutting this with the circular saw. Whoa. You see? This is raw. This is natural. This is, I'm showing you what I'm doing here. Check it out. Just messing with you guys. I'm building the portal. And this is going to go on top. I was like, that's a perfectly good table space. That's a tabletop. Why would I cut it? And I'm like, the mission here is to scan parts in 3D, not to conserve tabletops. So I sacrificed it on the altar of the portal. And I think it was a good decision.
You had. Perhaps you find a sudden knack for understanding people deeply. Or maybe you discover a talent for healing energies. It's hard not to get attached to this stage. It feels like a perpetual honeymoon with yourself. But just like any honeymoon, this stage for a never-ending night, thinking they've crossed the finish line. In reality, it's only a beautiful chapter in a multifaceted journey. Don't resist the rise and flow of this journey. The dark night of the soul. In this stage, you might find yourself in what I call the void. The void is not emptiness, but a space where you are between the old you and the new you. You might feel a lack of direction, but that's okay. You might go through a severe spiritual crisis, a turbulent time that is characterized by a loss of meaning, uncertainty, hopelessness, and profound doubt about one's place in the universe.
That I do not feel.
It's not merely a bad day or a rough patch. It's a deep emotional and spiritual upheaval that feels like a dismantling of the self. But no.
Some of it is for me, some of it I explore like, wow, that's for some people. It helps me understand what people are going through. Yeah. Some beat. That would be good. Okay. Nice. Sweet. Okay. Yeah, let's fix it. It's bad time. Need to put it on the bottom. Pulling cables, installing this, just to be able to break the circuit. Think about it, that's all you can ever do. You can never make it flow. You have to get this straight. It's like your intentions, it goes right in there. That's all we can do. Break the circuit if we don't like it, it's the truth. Dudes, do you even realize, like, all jokes aside, I'm gonna take this music out so I don't talk in rhymes, that we're gonna project light onto surfaces that we coat with silver haloid. Whatevs, man, make it from silver nitrate and just spray it on, either evaporate the solvent or have it in solid form and have thermoset photopolymers, maybe, so that we could keep the theme of powder coating just for the sake of environmental greatness. And yeah, and we're gonna shine different wavelengths of light into it, and it's gonna keep the orientation of the incoming wavelength and reflect it in that direction, presenting the appearance of 3D within the coating. Wow, yeah. Robots with projectors on them and cameras and 3D scanners and coating heads, like it's all in a tiny little end effector. Like, come at me, industry. What the fuck did you think? What did you guys think I was gonna do? Just do powder coating and that's it? I'm like, man, come on. Copper, electric steel, low magnetic hysteresis, I don't know. Doesn't really keep the magnetic polarization, which is important if you're constantly switching it up, like in a brushless motor. And that's all you need for industry, man. You need some mild material. You need to form the cup of a harmonic drive. That will probably get you the most waste, but once you have that, we'll print it with oriented fiber additive manufacturing. In 10 years, man, a robot arm to manufacture it that can do your workshop chores. It's gonna be less than $500, easy. One to do the scanning, less than 200. Economies of scale, 200,000 robots. I do anything and everything that's necessary to achieve what I set out to achieve, but you have to know that in my mind, while I'm building these things, about 80% of the time, I'm running on autopilot. Autopilot. What I'm really thinking about is collecting encoded data and matching it with output and inductance feedback data on half bridges. Talked about half bridges before. They're really important. Think of them as two dunes in the sand, of which if you jump, you hit yourself in the middle, but you can start from either direction. That's the power of a half bridge. That's why it's better than just the most fat. So collect the data from the encoder, precise machines. Did you even understand that? Let me put it simply. If I build a system where I just connect up a bunch of coils and a bunch of in and outputs of encoder electronics or encoders themselves, be it inductive, photo interruptive, be it man, I'm thinking about so many things. I was thinking about a resolver. Like, why would you use a resolver? But anyways, man, be it ohmic, like resistance, or I've got capacitive. That's the best, I think. That's just length of conductor and distance and dielectric properties. That's what I like. Yeah. Anyways, capacitive, conductive, as in quindi, tasho, potentia. Yeah, so I'm thinking about if you have a system of various motors and encoders attached to those motors, or those motors via a transmission, via a theta. You probe all pins, you emit current, you sense inductance, you sense movement, because the required energy to rotate the motor shaft decreases it as it gains momentum. And you sense that via shunting the output. And sense, because you're probing, you're cycling through in and output checks on each pin. So you can just connect up a bunch of encoders and motors attached and in the software it will separate it for you to control your machine based on which encoder is connected to which motor and what the ratio is. You need to put in some basic parameters, but if you set up your sensor system right and give it a few parameters, it will be able to calculate the rest. And there you have it as a machine. So that's what I'm thinking about when I'm drilling and like fitting DIN rails and like drilling here little holes for the screws to hold it in place and checking the fuses in there and all that. It's just fun and games, man. At this point where I have the toolage exactly always what I need to build it, it's just fun and games. But I'm thinking about what will take us a step further, and being able to communicate with our machines like our kin, that's definitely amongst the next steps. So progressing towards it. Thanks for joining me on the journey, man. Peace.